My name is Kim Namjoon, also known as RM, the leader of the group BTS. How many times have you smiled and said, "I'm fine," while quietly sacrificing your peace just to keep someone else happy? You keep saying yes, hiding your feelings, lowering your needs, and becoming whatever others expect from you. But slowly, without even realizing it, you begin disappearing from your own life. Listen carefully. Love should never require you to lose yourself. Kindness should never become self-betrayal. And keeping everyone happy should never cost you your identity. Here are 5 powerful signs that you are no longer living for yourself. And the final sign may reveal just how far away from yourself you have already become. 1. You say yes when your heart is begging you to say no. Every time you agree to something that drains, hurts, or overwhelms you just to avoid disappointing someone, you quietly teach yourself that their comfort matters more than your peace. You may smile and say, "It's fine," but inside resentment begins to grow because your heart knows you abandoned your own truth. Saying no does not make you rude or selfish. It means you respect your time, energy, and emotional limits. The people who genuinely value you may not always like your boundaries, but they will learn to respect them. Stop offering a yes when your soul is clearly asking for protection. 2. You shrink your identity to become easier for others to accept. One of the clearest signs that you are losing yourself is when you begin changing who you are depending on the people around you. You hide your opinions because you fear disagreement. Silence your dreams because others may call them unrealistic, and reduce your confidence so no one feels threatened by your strength. Slowly, you become more focused on being accepted than being authentic. You laugh when something hurts, agree when you strongly disagree, and pretend to enjoy things that make you uncomfortable, all because rejection feels more frightening than self-betrayal. But every time you make yourself smaller to fit into someone else's expectations, you move further away from the person you were meant to become. Real love does not require you to perform, hide, or erase the most beautiful parts of your personality. The right people will not ask you to become quieter, weaker, or less ambitious so they can feel comfortable. Stop editing yourself for people who only accept a version of you that benefits them. You deserve relationships where you can speak honestly, dream boldly, and exist fully without constantly wondering whether being yourself will make someone leave. 3. You carry everyone's emotions until your own become invisible. You begin losing yourself when every change in someone else's mood feels like your responsibility. If they become quiet, you immediately wonder what you did wrong. If they are angry, you rush to calm them, even when you are the one who has been hurt. If they pull away, you blame yourself and start changing your behavior just to bring them closer again. You become so busy protecting everyone from disappointment that you stop noticing how exhausted, anxious, and emotionally neglected you have become. Caring about people is beautiful, but carrying every emotion they refuse to manage is not love. It is a burden that slowly teaches you to ignore your own needs. You start apologizing for things you did not do, accepting blame that does not belong to you, and sacrificing your peace to prevent conflict. Over time, your emotions become invisible because there is never enough space left for them. Everyone else is allowed to be upset, tired, confused, or distant, while you feel pressure to remain understanding, patient, and available. You must remember that you can support someone without becoming responsible for their happiness. You can listen without fixing everything. You can care without abandoning yourself. Other people are allowed to feel disappointed by your decisions, and their reaction does not automatically mean you have done something wrong. Your responsibility is to be honest, respectful, and kind, not to control every emotion around you. Stop measuring your worth by how well you keep everyone comfortable. Ask yourself what you feel, what you need, and what your heart has been trying to say beneath all that emotional noise. Your feelings deserve the same attention you give so freely to others. The moment you stop carrying what was never yours, you finally create space to hear yourself again. 4. You tolerate disrespect because you are afraid of losing people. You begin losing yourself when you stay silent in moments that are slowly breaking your dignity. Someone speaks to you carelessly, ignores your feelings, crosses your boundaries, or repeatedly treats you as though your presence is guaranteed. Yet you convince yourself to remain patient because you are afraid that speaking up may push them away. You tell yourself they did not mean it, that perhaps you are being too sensitive, or that keeping the relationship is more important than confronting the pain. But every time you protect someone from the consequences of hurting you, you teach them that your silence is permission. Fear can make disrespect look easier to tolerate than loneliness. You may believe that if you become more understanding, more forgiving, or less demanding, they will finally recognize your value. You may keep giving chances because losing them feels unbearable, even when keeping them is costing you your confidence, peace, and self-respect. You lower your expectations and call it maturity. You hide your hurt and call it strength. You remain available after being mistreated and call it love. But love that survives only because you accept disrespect is not love that is protecting you. The truth is that people often learn how to treat you by observing what you repeatedly allow. When you laugh at comments that humiliate you, they assume those comments are acceptable. When you forgive without seeing changed behavior, they learn that apologies are enough. When you remain after every broken promise, they begin to believe that you will never leave. This does not mean you are responsible for their cruelty, but it does mean you are responsible for what access you continue giving them. Standing up for yourself does not require shouting, revenge, or becoming cold. It requires clarity. It means calmly saying, "I will not accept being spoken to this way," or "that behavior hurt me and it cannot continue." A boundary is not a threat. It is an honest explanation of what you will do to protect yourself when respect is missing. You cannot control whether someone changes, but you can control whether you remain available for the same treatment. Many people avoid setting boundaries because they fear being called difficult, selfish, dramatic, or ungrateful. But notice who usually uses those words. It is often the person who benefited from your silence. The moment you stop accepting less, they may accuse you of changing. They are right, you are changing. You are becoming someone who no longer trades dignity for connection. You are learning that being loved should never require you to endure what is destroying you. You must also understand that losing someone is not always the greatest loss. Sometimes the greater loss is the version of you that disappears while trying to keep them. You lose your confidence because you constantly question whether your feelings are valid. You lose your voice because speaking honestly creates tension. You lose your standards because you are afraid they will leave. Eventually, you may keep the relationship but lose the person you were before it began. Ask yourself an honest question. Are you staying because this relationship is healthy, or because you are terrified of starting over? Are you forgiving because there is real growth, or because you do not believe you deserve better? Are you being patient, or are you postponing a decision your heart has already made? These questions may feel uncomfortable, but discomfort is often where truth begins. The people who truly value you will not require endless reminders to treat you with basic respect. They may make mistakes, but they will listen, take responsibility, and make an effort to change. They will not punish you for expressing pain. They will not make you feel guilty for having limits. They will not force you to choose between keeping them and keeping your self-respect. Stop believing that walking away means you failed. Sometimes walking away is the first moment you finally choose yourself. It is the moment you stop begging someone to see your worth and begin living as though you already know it. It is the moment you understand that peace is more valuable than forced connection and that loneliness can heal faster than repeated disrespect. You do not need everyone to stay. You need the courage to stop losing yourself whenever someone threatens to leave. Let people walk away if respecting you feels like too much work for them. Their departure may hurt, but staying in a place where your dignity is constantly wounded will hurt far longer. Protecting yourself is not cruelty. It is proof that you have finally stopped abandoning the person who needs you most, you. 5. You have become a stranger in the life you built for everyone else. The most painful sign that you are losing yourself is not always visible to other people. Your life may appear stable. Your relationships may look normal. and everyone around you may believe you are doing well. You continue smiling, helping, listening, and showing up whenever someone needs you. But somewhere beneath that dependable version of you, a quiet emptiness has started growing. You have spent so much time becoming what everyone else needed that you no longer know what you need. You know how to make others comfortable, but you have forgotten what makes you feel alive. At first, the changes seem small. You cancel your plans because someone asks for your time. You delay your goals because another person's needs feel more urgent. You stop doing the things that once brought you joy because they are considered unimportant, unrealistic, or inconvenient. You tell yourself that you will return to your dreams later, when everyone is happy, when life becomes calmer, or when you finally have permission to focus on yourself. But later keeps moving further away, and slowly the life you wanted becomes buried beneath the life you created for everyone else. You may wake up one day and realize that almost every decision you make is shaped by someone else's approval. You wear what they prefer, choose what keeps them satisfied, and remain silent about what you truly want because expressing your needs may create disappointment. Even when you are given a choice, you automatically ask what everyone else would prefer before considering your own answer. You have become so accustomed to adjusting that your personal desires now feel unfamiliar, almost selfish. This is what happens when self-sacrifice becomes your identity. You stop seeing yourself as a person with needs and begin seeing yourself only as a role you must perform. Perhaps you are always the strong one, so you believe you are not allowed to fall apart. You are the understanding one, so you forgive what continues to hurt you. You are the reliable one, so everyone expects you to be available even when you are emotionally exhausted. You are the peaceful one, so you remain quiet rather than expressing anger or disappointment. These roles may earn appreciation, but they can also become prisons when people begin valuing what you do for them more than who you are. Eventually, you may feel surrounded by people and still feel unseen because they know the version of you that serves them, not the person hiding beneath it. When you have spent years pleasing others, choosing yourself can feel uncomfortable. Rest may feel like laziness. Saying no may feel like cruelty. Asking for support may feel like weakness. You may even feel guilty for enjoying something that does not benefit anyone except you. That guilt is not proof that you are doing something wrong. It is evidence that you have been conditioned to believe your worth depends on what you provide. You have learned to feel valuable only when you are useful, and that belief has made it difficult to recognize that you deserve love even when you are resting, struggling, changing, or simply existing. You must understand that a life built entirely around other people will eventually feel unfamiliar, no matter how beautiful it looks from the outside. You may have achieved everything that made others proud and still feel disconnected from yourself. You may have stayed in the relationship everyone wanted you to protect, followed the path they considered respectable, and become the person they praised, yet still feel as though something important is missing. What is missing may not be another achievement, another person, or another opportunity. What is missing may be you. Returning to yourself does not require destroying your entire life overnight. It begins with honesty. Ask yourself which parts of your daily life genuinely belong to you, which choices reflect your values, and which ones were made to avoid judgment. Which relationships allow you to exist fully, and which ones depend on you remaining quiet, useful, and easy to control. What did you once love before you became too busy meeting expectations? What dream did you abandon because someone convinced you it was impossible? These questions are not meant to make you regret your past. They are meant to help you recover the voice you stopped listening to. Start by making small decisions without asking for approval. Choose how you want to spend one quiet hour. Return to an interest that once made you curious. Wear something because it makes you feel confident. Speak honestly when you disagree. Protect time for your goals without apologizing for it. These actions may appear simple, but each one sends a powerful message to your mind. My life also belongs to me. The more you make choices based on your truth, the more familiar your own identity will begin to feel. Some people may resist this change because they were comfortable with the version of you who never said no. They may say you are becoming distant, selfish, difficult, or different. Do not allow their discomfort to convince you that your growth is wrong. You are not becoming cruel. You are becoming balanced. You are not abandoning people. You are ending the habit of abandoning yourself. Anyone who genuinely loves you will eventually understand that your healing is not an attack on them. They will not require you to remain exhausted just to prove that you care. You are allowed to build relationships where giving flows in both directions. You are allowed to expect people to ask how you are doing instead of contacting you only when they need something. You are allowed to stop carrying conversations, friendships, and connections that collapse whenever you stop making all the effort. You are allowed to choose environments where your opinions, dreams, and emotions have space to exist. Love should not make you disappear. Healthy love should give you enough safety to become more of yourself. Do not confuse being needed with being loved. People can depend on your kindness, attention, money, emotional support, or availability without truly appreciating the person providing it. Being constantly needed may create a temporary sense of importance, but it can also keep you trapped in relationships where your value is measured by your usefulness. Real love remains present even when you have nothing to give. It respects your limits, supports your growth, and wants you to have a life beyond the relationship. There will come a moment when you must decide whether you will continue living as the person everyone expects or begin becoming the person your heart has been waiting for. That decision may disappoint people. It may require uncomfortable conversations, stronger boundaries, and the courage to walk away from spaces that only accepted your silence. But the pain of changing cannot compare to the pain of reaching the end of your life and realizing that you lived every chapter according to someone else's wishes. You do not need permission to return to yourself. You do not need everyone to understand your choices before you make them. You do not need to prove that your needs are serious enough to deserve attention. Your dreams matter because they are yours. Your peace matters because you are the one who must live inside your mind every day. Your happiness matters because constantly saving everyone else while quietly drowning is not strength. Look at the life you have built and ask yourself whether there is room for you inside it. Not only the helpful version, the agreeable version, or the version who never causes problems, but the complete version of you. The one with boundaries, desires, fears, ambitions, opinions, and unfinished dreams. If that person has been missing, do not judge yourself. Invite them back. Return to the music you stopped listening to, the goals you postponed, the confidence you buried, and the voice you softened. Return to the woman who existed before she believed love had to be earned through endless sacrifice. She is not gone. She has simply been waiting for you to choose her again. You can still care deeply about others without building your entire life around their happiness. You can be kind without becoming invisible. You can love without surrendering your identity. The strongest decision you may ever make is to stop living as a stranger in your own story and finally take your place at the center of it. You have spent enough time asking everyone else what they need from you. Now ask yourself what you need from this life. Listen carefully to the answer, because the person you have been searching for beneath all those expectations has been there all along. It is you. You were never meant to spend your life proving your love by abandoning yourself. You are allowed to say no without feeling guilty. You are allowed to protect your peace, speak your truth, and disappoint people who only feel comfortable when you remain silent. You are allowed to stop carrying emotions that do not belong to you and walk away from relationships that require you to become smaller. The people who truly love you will not ask you to destroy yourself just to keep them happy. They will respect your boundaries, support your growth, and make space for the real you, not only the version that is always giving, forgiving, and available. So stop measuring your worth by how much you can sacrifice. Stop calling exhaustion love. Stop calling silence peace. And stop disappearing from your own life just to make everyone else comfortable. You may have spent years choosing everyone else, but your story is not over. You can return to your voice. You can rebuild your confidence. You can rediscover the dreams you buried beneath other people's expectations. The moment you choose yourself, some people may become disappointed, but for the first time, you will no longer be disappointed in yourself. Remember this: choosing yourself does not make you selfish. It means you have finally understood that your heart deserves the same love, patience, and protection you have always given to everyone else. So today, make one decision. Do not sacrifice your identity to keep someone in your life. Do not lose your peace to protect someone else's comfort. And never become a stranger to yourself again. Let them misunderstand you. Let them call you different. Let them walk away if they cannot respect the person you are becoming. Because the day you stop living for everyone else is the day you finally begin living for yourself. And this time, choose yourself without guilt.